January 19th, 2026 began as a typical Michigan winter morning. Gray skies, a gentle dusting of snow, and the kind of cold that seeps into your bones. The world felt quiet, almost peaceful, as commuters set out for their daily routines, bundled up against the chill, coffee in hand, radios humming softly in the background. On Interstate 196, traffic moved steadily, tires crunching over packed snow, drivers cautiously navigating the familiar winter roads. For many, it was just another day, another commute through the heart of Michigan's winter. But in an instant, everything changed. Without warning, a blinding whiteout swept across the highway, swallowing everything in its path. Visibility plummeted from miles to mere feet in a matter of seconds, turning the world outside into a swirling, featureless void of white. Drivers, caught completely off guard, slammed on their brakes, but the icy pavement offered no grip. Cars spun out of control, metal collided with metal, and in an instant, chaos erupted across the highway. The world outside vanished behind a curtain of snow. Taillights faded and disappeared, swallowed by the storm. Inside their vehicles, drivers were left in a disorienting void, panic rising as the sounds of collisions echoed through the blizzard, each crash a chilling reminder of the danger. In the chaos, a semi-truck jackknifed, its massive trailer blocking multiple lanes. Vehicles behind had no time to react, unable to see the looming obstacle until it was too late, piling into the growing wreckage with terrifying force. More cars, blinded by the storm and unable to see the disaster ahead, crashed into the tangled mass of vehicles, each impact adding to the devastation. The pileup stretched nearly a mile, a frozen labyrinth of twisted metal and stranded vehicles. Over 100 cars and trucks were trapped, their occupants suddenly cut off from the outside world. For those inside, it became a fight for survival. What began as a routine commute had turned in mere seconds into a nightmare, one where every second felt like an eternity, and every sound outside could mean another collision. The chain reaction was relentless. Each new arrival, unable to stop in time, added to the devastation, the pileup growing with every passing moment as the storm raged on. In just minutes, Interstate 196 was transformed into a scene of utter chaos, a stark, unforgettable reminder of winter's unpredictable and unforgiving fury. What is a whiteout? It's a term that sounds almost harmless, but in reality, it describes one of the most dangerous weather phenomena a driver can face. A whiteout happens when snow and wind combine to erase the horizon completely, blending the ground and sky into a blinding, featureless white canvas. It's as if the world itself has vanished, leaving you suspended in a void. Drivers lose all visual cues. No road edges, no lane markers, no sense of direction. The familiar landscape is replaced by a disorienting whiteness that makes even the most routine drive feel perilous. You can't judge distance or see obstacles until it's too late. Hazards like stalled vehicles, icy patches, or sudden curves are hidden until you're almost on top of them. Even experienced drivers become disoriented, making critical errors like veering off the road or braking too hard, which can send a car spinning out of control. Whiteouts are especially common in open areas, farmland, prairies, or stretches of highway, where wind whips loose snow into dense, swirling clouds that can appear in seconds. Unlike a blizzard, which is about sustained snowfall and wind, a whiteout is all about visibility, sudden, total, and absolutely terrifying. It can strike without warning, turning clear roads into a wall of white in moments. The psychological impact is intense. Vertigo, anxiety, and the sensation of floating in emptiness while moving at speed. Drivers often feel panic as their senses are overwhelmed and their instincts fail them. When dozens of drivers are blinded at once, disaster is almost inevitable. Chain reaction crashes can happen in seconds, with vehicles piling up before anyone can react. The I-196 pileup was a textbook case. Drivers rendered helpless by nature's erasure of the road, unable to stop or steer clear of danger. In a whiteout, even the best preparation can be undone in seconds. Emergency kits, winter tires, and careful planning can only do so much when you can't see what's ahead. It's a deadly gamble every time you enter the storm. The only true safety is to avoid driving in whiteout conditions whenever possible, because once you're inside, escape is never guaranteed. The pileup was triggered by a perfect storm. An Arctic blast, lake-effect snow, and fierce winds converged over West Michigan. Heavy snow bands targeted the I-196 corridor, while gusts whipped up blinding drifts. The road quickly iced over, slashing tire traction and making stopping nearly impossible. Even if drivers glimpsed the wreckage ahead, they couldn't halt in time. This trifecta, snow, wind, and ice, turned a routine commute into a disaster zone. The storm's intensity overwhelmed both vehicles and drivers, setting the stage for catastrophe. The disaster began near Hudsonville and Zeeland, where a sudden whiteout caused the first vehicles to crash. In a matter of seconds, visibility dropped to nearly zero, leaving drivers with no time to react. The snow whipped across the highway, blinding everyone in its path and turning the road into a sheet of ice. Instantly, the chain reaction started. Car after car, truck after truck, slammed into the growing pile. The screech of brakes and the crunch of metal echoed through the blizzard as more vehicles barreled into the chaos, unable to stop in time. Over 100 vehicles, including at least 24 semi-trucks, became entangled in the wreckage. The sheer number of vehicles involved was staggering, stretching for nearly a mile along the interstate. Jackknife trailers blocked all lanes, forming walls that trapped more vehicles. Some trucks slid sideways, their trailers swinging out and creating impassable barriers of steel and snow. Authorities shut down a 10-mile stretch of the interstate, stranding thousands. Emergency crews rushed to the scene, but the scale of the disaster made access nearly impossible. Inside the pileup, drivers waited in fear, surrounded by twisted metal and swirling snow. Many were trapped in their vehicles for hours, unsure if help would reach them before the cold set in. The first 911 calls came just before 10:20 a.m. Within minutes, the crash ballooned from a handful of cars to 100. Dispatchers were overwhelmed as desperate drivers called for help, reporting injuries and blocked roads. The scene froze in place, a static tableau of destruction. Vehicles sat motionless, their headlights dimmed by the falling snow, as first responders struggled to reach those in need. Investigators are still piecing together the sequence, but the cause is clear. Sudden, extreme weather made safe driving impossible. The blizzard's intensity caught everyone off guard, turning a routine commute into a life-threatening ordeal. The morning commute became a nightmare in the blink of an eye. What started as an ordinary day quickly spiraled into one of the worst traffic disasters in Michigan's history. The scale and speed of the chaos were unprecedented. In just minutes, I-196 was transformed from a busy highway into a frozen graveyard of vehicles, a stark reminder of nature's power and the fragility of human plans. Emergency crews raced to the scene, battling the same whiteout and icy roads that caused the crash. Navigating the wreckage was perilous. First responders moved car to car, searching for the injured in freezing temperatures. Hydraulic tools pried open doors. Firefighters and paramedics worked methodically, triaging and rescuing those trapped. Ambulances struggled to reach victims, so buses were used to shelter and transport the stranded. Coordination between agencies was crucial to manage the chaos and ensure everyone was accounted for. Responders braved hazardous conditions for hours, preventing further injuries and bringing order to the disaster. Veterans called it one of the most challenging scenes of their careers, a true frozen battlefield. Miraculously, no one died in the 100-vehicle pileup, an outcome officials called a miracle. 10 people were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, from cuts to broken bones. Most motorists escaped physically unharmed, but deeply shaken, stranded for hours in the cold. Buses moved the uninjured to warming centers, while first responders ensured everyone's safety. The psychological toll lingers, but the low number of injuries is a testament to modern safety features and quick emergency response. The contrast between the devastation and the survival rate is striking. In the end, the preservation of life was the day's only bright spot. The pileup didn't happen without warning. Hours before, the National Weather Service issued urgent advisories. Residents were told, "Do not travel." Warnings were broadcast everywhere, stressing the risk of sudden whiteouts. Despite this, the interstate remained busy. Many felt obligated to drive, or underestimated the danger. Some trusted their vehicles or experience, ignoring the severity of the forecast. The tragedy highlights a persistent challenge: convincing people to heed weather warnings. The I-196 disaster is a stark lesson. No one is immune to nature's extremes. When experts urge you to stay home, it's not just advice, it's a lifeline. The Michigan Pileup is a powerful reminder. Winter driving requires caution and preparation. If authorities advise against travel, stay home. No trip is worth your life. If you must drive, prepare your vehicle. Good tires, full gas tank, charged phone, and an emergency kit. On the road, slow down. Speed is deadly on ice and snow. Increase your following distance dramatically. Normal gaps aren't enough. Avoid sudden movements. Brake, steer, and accelerate gently. If you skid, steer in the direction you want to go and stay calm. Never use cruise control on slick roads. Stay alert. Whiteouts can appear in seconds. If caught in one, pull over safely. Turn on hazards and wait it out. If you can't stop, slow down, use low beams, and follow the road's edge. Preparation and respect for the weather are your best defenses. Clearing over 100 wrecked vehicles was a monumental task. Heavy-duty tow trucks worked for hours, carefully untangling the mess under freezing conditions. Each vehicle was documented before removal, adding to the complexity. By 6 p.m., both directions of I-196 were reopened, a remarkable feat. The pileup is a sobering lesson. Extreme weather can overwhelm even the best drivers and vehicles. The key takeaway: heed weather warnings and stay off the roads when advised. Sometimes the safest trip is the one you never take. The story of I-196 is a cautionary tale written in steel and snow. It underscores the importance of preparation, caution, and respect for winter's power. As winter returns, let this disaster remind us, safety must always come first.